So, and then I will come to my next presentation, which is about ENIN, the upcoming call for emission-free commercial vehicles and infrastructure. ENIN will be our main scheme for the funding of commercial vehicles, starting in the next few months, hopefully. It is partially covered by the Recovery and Resilience Fund, and it's similar to the EBIM program, which I have mentioned before, where we fund buses for public transportation. The main goal is to increase the share of emission-free commercial vehicles in the categories N1, N2, and N3. Also, the conversion to zero-emission drives should be fundable in this program. In combination with zero-emission vehicles, you can also apply for funding for the infrastructure, but only infrastructure projects would not be fundable in this scheme. The time frame is to start in September with the first calls, and having then calls for application at least until 2025. And in comparison to our funding offers in the e-mobility offensive, you are here in the competitive scheme. So you will have to compete with other projects, and these are ranked, and yeah, so not everyone will get the funding. Only the best projects which are in the respective call budget will become a funding offer. With this method, we can offer some attractive funding rates, which are 80% of the additional costs for commercial vehicles and 40% of infrastructure investment costs. So coming to the procedure, the process will be structured in 4 pillars. The first is the opening of the call, so you can find all relevant information, guides, dates, and other relevant information for the corresponding call on the website of the funding agency, which is the FFG in this case. The second step is to write and send your application. You can get into contact with the funding agency at any moment to ask questions regarding the application or the call in specific. In the third step, the projects are evaluated and ranked by an independent jury. The official funding decision based on the ranking will then come from the Climate Action Ministry and will lead to funding cancellation or funding approval. And in the last step, it comes to the implementation, where the vehicles are purchased and the infrastructure is erected. The actual project start could be at the same time as the project submission, but this would be on your own risk of the applicant. And for a minimum of 5 years, the applicant will have operating and retention obligations, where you also bring in interim reports about the incurred costs and key figures like the annual mileage. I already mentioned the competitive characteristics of ENIN. So we plan to rank the project in 4 criteria, which are the quality, the suitability, the use and exploitation, and the relevance of the project. And the main quantitative criteria will be the amount of funding for the commercial vehicle and the infrastructure per vehicle kilometer, and therefore the derived CO2 saving. As I already mentioned, we are planning to start ENIN in September, but first we have to notify our program to the European Commission. We initially planned to base ENIN on the new CHIBA, but as it will maybe not come into force in July 2022, we have to do the notification in parallel so that we are on the safe side here.